Hello, my honor students. I hope you're doing well. Remember, I'm expecting you to watch every video. Now you can say, hey, Mr. Murphy, I'm in my bedroom. I can lie to you. I can lie to my parents. I can just lie to everyone. Well, that's true. But notice if you're wanting to stay in honors, you're going to see and need some of this again next year and junior year. And when you go to use it, you're going to be behind because they'll expect you to know how to do some of this and you won't. And then you'll be caught up. They'll be like, oh no, you were supposed to know this. And you'll say, well, I didn't do it just because I could have 20 more minutes of doing nothing. But anyways, hey, life is good. Now, when you go to Desmos, and I know you don't have it on now because you have your iPad on, but there's a button in the top right-hand corner. It looks like a wrench, and I drew it horribly. But when you push it, you'll get at the bottom of a box, it'll say radians and degrees. That's two ways to measure an angle. What I want you to do is hit degrees. For some reason, the default mode on Desmos is radians, and most of your expensive calculators it is. Most of the cheap calculators, the default is degrees. Then, if you go down to the bottom of this box, it has functions. And if you push functions, then if you push trig, there'll be four words across. One is stat, one is trig, one is miscellaneous. I forget the fourth, but it doesn't matter. When you hit trig, which is on the far left, you'll get three columns, 6 trig functions, 6 trig functions with a -1. The -1 means you're looking for the angle, not the ratio of sides. And then you get this. Whatever that is, we're not going to be using. I mean, I know what it is, but you don't need to. Now, what we're going to do is go straight to triangles. Some years I don't, some years I do. But here's my recommendation. When you're given information, plug it in. So we make a triangle, ABC. Oops, ABC. Side opposite is lowercase. I know angle B is 64.8. We're told. And side B. So measure of angle, and this just says B, so that means side B. This is 38.5. So I always make a triangle and draw my information. So what am I looking for? Angle A, and side C. Now, if you're going to use Desmos to do these problems, that's great. But you write it in just as you see it. So if you're doing sine 30, you'd hit sine and then do 30. I'm using my cheap calculator. So I would do reverse. The older calculators or the really cheap calculators, you do 30 then sine. So there's 3 ways to find missing parts. 1 is Pythagoras, 2 is the sum of the angles is 180, and the third is using trigonometry. Well, I know this angle and this angle, so how do I find this? Well, you could do it 2 ways. All 3 add up to 180, so you could go this plus this equals 180. Or these 2 have to add up to 90. They're complementary. So all 3 are supplementary, add up to 180. These 2 have to add up to 90 because this is already 90. So the measure of angle A is 90 minus 64.5. Which, if I'm thinking right, is 25.5 degrees. Well, that was easy. Now, let's look for a side. Now, you should have memorized the 6 trig functions from yesterday. So I'm going to do angle B. Now, it's always nice to keep the unknown side on top. It just makes it a little easier. So what trig function would be, I don't know the hypotenuse, so adjacent over opposite? Well, what would that be? Well, it'd be cotangent of 64.5 equals 38.5. Oh, I messed up. Equals A over 38.5. Because cotangent's adjacent over opposite. So then I would, that's not supposed to be a degree. I would cross multiply, so it's 38.5 times the cotangent of 64.5. So on your iPad, you would do that. Now, I have the cheapy calculator, so I want to set it up in terms of sine, cosine, or tangent. So I'm going to do opposite over adjacent from this one, because I know this angle too. So that would be tangent of 25.5 equals the opposite side, which is A, over 38.5. So then to solve for A, I'm going to cross multiply or multiply by 38. I always put a degree there. It's not a degree. 38.5 times the tangent of 25.5. So either way is fine. So if I had an iPad I could use right away, I would probably do cotangent. So that looks nice. This over this. Where since I don't have my iPad because I'm using it, I'm going to do this one so it's opposite, the unknown on top, over adjacent is tangent. So you have 6 different trig functions to choose from if you're using the iPad. So I'm going to take out my calculator. I will go 25.5. Oh, I got to turn it on. 25.5 tangent. Now, if you're using the iPad, you just do tangent 25.5 times 38.5 equals 18.36. So side A right here is 18.36. I abbreviated. I like hundreds, by the way. 18.36. Now, I have 5 of the pieces of information. Let's find C. Now, I could use Pythagoras. So to find C, I'd go C squared equals 18.36 squared plus 38.5 squared. And then use a calculator. Or I could do a trig function. Let's see. What is hypotenuse over adjacent? Well, that would be secant. See, do you have them memorized? I don't think you do. I think I'll just do Pythagoras to get used to that. So C squared equals 18.36 squared plus 38.5 squared equals, I get 1819. Then I take the square root of that. And I get 42.63. I'm writing it off the page. Sorry about that. I gotta get used to this. So this, what did I say? Let's see, is squared. Oh, I just erased it. Well, 42 point... Well, I'm running out of time, so just believe me, it's whatever this number's square root is this. And C has to be the biggest, so that makes sense. 64 is pretty close, so that makes sense that it wouldn't be hugely greater. So 42.63. Now I want to do a couple more examples, but I'm out of time. So, good. 2 videos today. Thank you.